You mean everything to me because I know you mean everything to Christ. And Christ means everything to me.
I called on the Lord. I said, man, Father, this is real. Will you watch over me? Will you raise them up to be strong? I'm just a man with flesh. This is what you call for in your scriptures. You said they wore studs and fringes, they got it on. You said they will follow the law, they doing it. You said under your house shine, they ought to love one another. And they doing it.
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers got them killers with me, and I don't fuck with every spot cause it's too iffy. Real motherfucking prophet cause the Lord with me, but don't get that shit twisted, I got Drake's with me. Yeah, bitch, and that whole 50. Run up on me wrong, you gon' catch 60. Wait, you gon' catch 20. The other 30 for your homies, bitch, I got plenty. And I'll shoot this motherfucker till that clip empty. Taking orders from your bitch, you a fucking simpy. Shit, should be televised. The way I'm cutting niggas up, bitch, I'm a samurai. Niggas swear they in the truth, but telling hella lies. Stumping like you Greek, bitch, you Hellenized. The revolution gon' be televised, and what I see in my vision gon' leave you petrified.
One West, One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
UPK soldiers lead cowards and all. So fuck a gas stop. I came with 6 pumps in my car. My niggas ready to swing. We like kids at the park. So touch a chair around this bitch and we breaking your jaw. They think we Christian, but we not. Nothing about us is soft. I don't know what you niggas on, but that shit get you off. We booted up. We came to take zones for real. Black 40 under my garment. I be dressed to kill. Fourth dimension sitting linger. I be fresh for real. Putting scripts on your corners, but these here ain't pills. We rock covers. You official if you know those drills. Bread and water, you official if you know those meals. Yeah, you niggas soldiers get rolled over. You got police in your pocket, I got a judge in my holster. Oppressors out to get us, so remain sober. Or be chained to them chains till there's nothing that remains of us. A cult leader like Christ, we got the same culture. I bang on them, tell my enemies the reign's over. I up the sig and keep pulling like a chain smoker. The game ain't changed, One West stayed the same on them.
One West, One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Niggas talking prophets, yeah, we got plenty. We the reason why it's Israelites around the city. Call Kazak, tells a rock, bring Shamar out. We about to slide on them, see what niggas talking about. Young dog think he wise cause he a Kim head. That shit lame, they didn't survive, nigga, Kim is dead. Where I'm from, little nigga, is a dirty game. I pledge allegiance to Yahweh, bitch, I'm UPK. Huh, nigga, let's talk bodies. Set up on your corner, wake up everybody. Big priest, until I'm dead deceased. The mission is complete until you're off the street. Saw y'all on the internet, stumping down the street. But take the poor and the weak. Touch your sister or a brother, you gon' be sleep. But take the poor and the weak.
One West, One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West, One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West, One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West, One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, niggas?
Fucking with the brothers, then I'm giving out major pain. Clip full of ball heads, I'm shooting out Damon Wayne's. Driven ambition, I ain't never changing lanes. Wise as an old man, but I ain't slanging cane. This ain't a game, this shit way deeper than rap. You speaking the cap, but the shit y'all speaking is cap. I'm 5,000, but I still keep it a stack. I'm in the truth, not cause back then I was seeking the facts. Crying loud for the niggas just deep in the back. And the Lord with me, ain't no reason for keeping the strap. We peep the attacks, niggas say we ain't speaking the facts. Stealing breakdowns every time we teaching in class. Niggas snitching, y'all out here squeaking with rats. We be on the street corners teaching that Jesus is black.
We on 125th Street, Harlem, nigga, you see where we at?
One West, that's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. We want it all, nigga. That's who we are, nigga. So who is y'all, nigga? One West. That's who we are, nigga. One West. So who is y'all, niggas? One West. We want it.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my houses. Yes, you said, sir. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. That was designed 5 for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
You know the truth is
it's the truth, that's all I know. Cry loud and spare not, you gon' get exposed. A few real niggas left, you not one of those. Real soldiers, we was born to stand 10 toes. If he ain't one West, that nigga not one of mine. He got a purple 12, me, I got a black 9. The truth is the wife of my youth, chopper my concubine. Had to die to get my rib, that bitch forever mine. You know the game, a bishop gotta be blameless. But GMS teaching niggas to be rapists. They screaming we snitch. When Joel Morgan was killed by your brother, y'all ain't say shit. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK. PSA, we don't sign NDAs. Real prophets only dwell in the UPK. PSA, we don't sign NDAs.
Hey, 100 deep, 100 shields on, that's 100 priests. 100 boots, that's 200 feet. Tongue like a sword when I fucking speak. Teach you how to fish instead of fucking leech. Stop selling drugs instead of trying to fuck with me. Knowledgeable, but I'm rude in my fucking speech. Life is about warfare, not no fucking peace. Hey, bitch, I cry loud when I fucking speak. Make them wait a year before they fuck with me. Turn a street nigga to a fucking priest. Cross a priest and I promise you forever sleep.
According to God, the white man is the devil. See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop it, ass shit. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that. Let bygone be. Boy, ass shit, stop it, ass shit. It's about to get serious. When they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, where the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. He cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the scheme. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed he up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know it's gold in the ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Yeah, see the prophets. I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass need the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know what I'm saying? They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and know boy, your ass need to stop it, ass need the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass shit. Oh, I'm with step, I'm solid for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go, let's go. I ain't taking no losses, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with your own. I'ma be loyal to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slate. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got your baby mother on high, got your baby pants through the fire. Ain't she the prophets? That baby soul belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Devil will failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. Their ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass she the prophets. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
We're in front of the Israeli School, Universal Practical Knowledge, the Philadelphia Division, here at 3226 Cheltenham Avenue in Philadelphia. We're standing in front of the school right now, getting a description of the 12 tribe sign that's been painted by one of the brothers that was in the school: Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, Zebulun, Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Isupk. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel.
Shalom. Shalom. You've been waiting for this day, so this day has finally come. A lot of you've been wondering where this knowledge that you've been hearing is coming from, and the powerful truth that you've been hearing, how this was established. Well, we finally were able to arrange for the priests to come down from New York and spend some time with us. And I'd like to introduce them if I can. These are some great brothers. We're very glad to have them with us. We want to make them feel as warm as possible because this is their work and the extension of their work and what they've laid down some time ago. I'd like to introduce, first of all, priest and Sixth Shield General, 4th in command in the nation of Israel, Lahab. I'd like to salute this brother. March up. Barak. Yeshabim, which means sit. And I'm going to turn it over now to Priest General Lahab.
Come on, brother. I'd like to say this, starting off, we're very impressed at your school here, and we're very impressed to see that the brothers and sisters in Philadelphia think enough of the Most High and the Bible and the truth and your nationality to be a part of this, because most of the brothers and sisters are running from the truth.
Mic check, mic check. All right, Shalom Israel's priest and officer of 1,000 Katav at Isupk Detroit. Back with a Lashawan Qadash class. Of course, 7 and 9, no excuses. Salakia, Israel. You know how that oppressor be doing sometimes. But of course, as good soldiers, we have to make the appropriate accommodations. We got to make the appropriate preparations to make sure our duties go without fail. So definitely moving forward, that will be my goal. So even when the devil or the oppressor himself decides to stop this truth still goes on. Got to raise up one of these young men to stand in my stead at times to help push this truth. But with that being said, I miss y'all, man. What y'all been up to? Y'all been chilling? It's been a little hot. Y'all bosses been getting on y'all nerves. Kids getting out of school. Y'all ready for the summer? Y'all got babysitters lined up? Y'all got homework? Yeah, my pops used to give us homework in the summertime. Read this book while your friends outside your window playing and laughing. Oh, type it in the chat. Let me hear from y'all. Oh, well, what's going on, Nashad Gabar? Yeah, man, we're gonna have to take a trip up to Sag Nasty one time for the one time. It was a school I used to manage up there. I think it was the NHA schools in North Saginaw. Was that the National Heritage Academy? One of them little elementary schools. That was one of the buildings I was over. Dang, I feel some type of way. My rib ain't even tapping in with me. But without further ado, like I said, I'll be introducing some new information. And I actually want to get right into it because this initial class will just be going over the information that we will be covering for the next foreseeable week for the most part. I want to give you guys a week or so to reach out to me, send me an email, get in contact with me, and I'll forward you the different lessons or the entire workbook that we'll be going through so you can better follow along. I think that'd be dope. But today's class, we're going to focus on the information itself, that introductory piece, seeing what all it covers, and pretty much just touch on the foundation of the language of Hebrew. And it'll present a few facts that will go into the understanding that this current Hebrew that we call modern, or what you would see down here, which is the Assyrian Hebrew, why it's bastardized or more Yiddish than anything. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and get out this read this Hebrew alphabet. I don't feel like adjusting the camera. Yeah, I said it out loud. I still got my big ass sword. And in Hebrew, we start from the right and we read to the left. So this is going to be the Assyrian, but of course, we pronounce it the exact same. And notice one of the things that we're going to cover initially is that same principle or that reason. Why do we pronounce this the way we pronounce it and they pronounce that the way they pronounce it? We'll cover that. So you have your your ba, your ga, your da, your ha, your wa, your za, your ha, your ta, ya, ka, ma, it's like your la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, taza, kwa, ra, sha, and tha. One of the things I was just noticing, which was dope, after I stumbled at this lie, like real rap, I didn't look up at all for a reference. And I know y'all thinking, man, that's kind of basic. Yeah, it is that I know my Hebrew alphabet. But when you know it and you know it, it hit different. I'm just saying it hit a little different. All right, so let's check out this workbook. What I'm gonna do is present my screen. Share screen. One second. Let me make sure I have it up first. Oh yeah. All right, bear with me, Salakia. Yeesh. All right, let me just double check. I want to make sure that's playing right. All right, so it looked good to me. So what we have is the biblical Hebrew, a text and workbook. Now, just in that title alone, one of the things that we should pick up at is that the the biblical part plays a big part in the understanding, because you can have Hebrew and then you can have the biblical Hebrew. Um, and one of the things that, or example I can make of that and bring it to 2025, you can have the 1900s American English, and then you can have the 2025 Ebonics English. So, like, there's words, and we cover this often, that we use that in our culture, and using those words may mean different. It might not mean the same thing, or we can get a different understanding for it. So we have to understand that this is the Hebrew that a particular group of people, meaning the Israelites, used. And that's who the Bible was based off of. The Bible is the book for the so-called blacks, Latinos, and First Nation people on this side of the planet. Of course, as you know, James 1:1, it states to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, and it varies throughout scriptures. It says it in other places that we'll be scattered to the four corners of the earth. So we're everywhere. But when we talk about the majority on this side where we are today, these are where those people are at. And then we have to understand the culture of that people to understand some of the things that are written. So, a text workbook. So you have the authors, and you notice Yale University Press, New Haven, in London. So you have different receipts, make sure it meets up to certain criteria, the dedication, and then you have the introduction. I could read the introduction, but I don't think it's 100% necessary. There's going to be a lot of things, and we'll cover some of those things that briefly, that is important to the Assyrian Hebrew, but that's something that I'm not going to go into and teach at all, at least not yet. And the reason for that is because I'd rather have a firmer understanding on the ancient Hebrew and the Hebrew of my ancestors versus understanding the bastardized version, just so I can use some of their material a lot more easier. You know what I mean? So most of the things that are written in today's Hebrew are going to be in that Assyrian Hebrew. So it will benefit me be able to navigate efficiently through it. But priority wise, nah, it's not on my high priority list. But we can start it from the top. It says the purpose of this book is to get the students reading biblical Hebrew, prose, and even a bit of poetry as soon as possible. To effect this, we take an uncommon approach by teaching in descending order of frequency the most common constructions, the most common verbs, and the most common grammar syntax. Because all Hebrew in the book, whether for teaching, illustration, or drill, is biblical, from the very first students experience the joy of working with the genuine material. So pretty much what they're saying is the way that this workbook is outlined, it's outlined maybe not in a traditional sense of how somebody would teach a particular or a different subject. You know, they might start with, or let's say if it was math, you know, you might start with additions or just your numbers, and then your addition, subtraction, blah, blah, blah. And they're saying, well, instead of going to addition first, we're going to do definite principles, or, you know, decimals or whatever it is. But nonetheless cover all the information. And then they're going to be utilizing the actual text in this teaching. So it's not like, oh, they're teaching this, and then after you've learned it, that's when you start putting it into practice. No, you're going to be working with the actual test the whole time. So you'll see different lessons that they'll have at the end of the chapter or each section, and we'll cover those as well. So again, if this is some information, or if you're definitely interested in following along with this workbook, reach out to me and we can make it work. If you're just a random, I'm gonna be honest, I'm probably not gonna send it to you. I'm probably be like, yeah, you got to check in my classes for 2-3 months straight and let me know that you're dedicated and you're serious, and I'll send it to you. But if you're a brother in the school, definitely, sister in the school, definitely, yep. And I'll get you this information. So you have the content. So starting off, you have the Hebrew alphabet. That's something that we cover initially always. We just go over the Hebrew alphabet because we want it as familiar as possible. Then you have vowel points and vocalization. I think vowel points and vocalization is something that I never like directly taught, as in spent time. It was probably something I kind of brushed over or even assumed, because you're hearing it. You're hearing the vowel points and vocalizations. Some of this we have to take with a grain of salt, meaning this is them learning our language and learning how to understand something simple that we might do. So like the fact that we can say, I need to get my cheese up, and knowing that cheese is a dairy product, I don't have to explain that to my people, but they have a term for something like that. You'll come across these terms, which they're just literally putting a term to what we do naturally. You see what I'm saying? So you have lesson 1, lesson 2, and you have all of these different lessons that we'll eventually go over. I know, right? It's a lot. I kind of do want to stay 2 to 3 lessons ahead of you guys. So it might be a week that I might just do a review class that'll give myself some time to maybe dive in deeper into this particular lesson. I might have to reach out to Adawan, Hazaha, Marah, and find out some of this information, or ask some questions for some clarifications before I teach it. So those are things that might happen. But the idea is to definitely cover a piece of this every week, and get more into like the reading and, you know, breaking down the certain verses. So of course they have the different texts that we will be covering. They have the glossary, verb charts. So they kind of go deep into different types of verbs, usage and stuff like that. Some of that I feel like you might consider it as meat, something that we can definitely cover at a later time. Vocabulary assignments, and then these symbols. So I remember in one of my first classes, and this was back when we was on the other side of the school, and I had the little board. I was like, man, I'm pretty sure these dots in the Assyrian mean something. And I told myself, I'm gonna find out what it means. I remember at that time I did do quick Google search. I didn't get an in-depth answer, meaning I didn't get or go in depth on receiving the answer. But I can say it was kind of what I thought it would be. Meaning, I assume that these dots meant something to the pronunciation of the word or the character that they're under. And that's essentially what it can be broken down to. So this is something that they kind of give you a key, you know how like in geography or in school they say, oh, here's the key, now work out this, and then this is the given information that they give you. So you have that. All right, so you start. Here's your alphabet. Now we know what the um we know what the ancient Hebrew looks like. And for those who don't know, I'll pull it up real quick. Which means I might have to stop sharing my screen just for a second. Stop screen. All right, so I was trying to just pull it up real quick, but for some reason, this all on Pinterest, and they not giving me a picture I can just blow up and just oh. All right, man, they doing too much now. I'm pretty sure this is not as big. Yeah, no Diddy. Wait. All right, let me figure this out. I just want to show a picture. And anyway, so no, that's doing too much. You have your I, your ba, your ga, your da, your ha, your wa, your za, your ha, your ta, ya, ka, la, ma, na, sa, I, pa, ta, za, qua, ra, sha, tha. So these are the characters of what they look like in the ancient Hebrew, meaning this predates the Assyrian or more modern Hebrew. This is what you would have seen from our ancestors. Captain Katazai did a good work when he was doing the 12 tribe chart breakdown, in which he presented certain writings, artifacts, etc., that had this script on there. So, all right, let's go back to the other screen. All right. So they have the alphabet in three different categories. You have the name, or what you might think it, or they say it derived from their understanding of the sound and the letter or the character applied to that sound. What's heavy about this is the information that they admit just in the introduction or just in the beginning of their teaching. So we have to understand that this is our oppressors' attempt to teach us our language, and in that process, of course, they had to do their studying, they had to do their research, they had to look up certain things and observe certain things. And in their narcissism, in their effort to steal the culture of the children of God, they detailed a part of our culture, which we can benefit today. Hence, they kind of stripped it from us. So we already went over the alphabet in the beginning of the class. You have your I, your Ba, your Ga, and so forth, all the way down to the Tha. But here's what it says: modern Hebrew equivalents are shown for the consonants. This will be true for vowels as well. This is by far the simplest system for Hebrew pronunciation. Note the following: ah and I were throat sounds which have been modified in the modern pronunciation system, which means the ancient or the original language, the characters that you see presented in front of you are just guidelines to help you try to understand or grasp how to pronunciate what we're trying to get you to pronunciate, or the certain words, vowels, etc. It wasn't like it was ever something more than just throat sounds. So at the end of this, I'll actually show you some real Israelites speaking Hebrew, praying in Hebrew, and then you'll see the vowel or the pronunciations, how it's consistent through all of the different characters, through all of the alphabet, which the ancient Hebrew stays the same. The modern is what you would see as modified for the pronunciation. They are most easily imitated by the following slight stoppage of breath and sound at the proper place in the word. So like they have the ah and the I. So sometimes that ah might so let's just say you want to say the word father, which we know is Abba. You could just say Abba and they would know. I mean, and well, let me word it like this. Ah is just like if you hurt yourself and you was like, you know what I mean? It's a natural sound without having to put anything extra. And then the Ba is the same sound breath-wise, but the start is the only thing that's different. So the vowels are constant. Ah, ba, ga, da. The only thing that's different would be this I. Everything else, taza, ra, pa, are all the same. Are all the same for the most part, or all the same in pronunciation for the most part. I'm not even going to say for the most part. It's just all the same in pronunciation except the I. So you have your ga, which have the sound as G as in gum. Now wa, now pronounced with the va sound. So this is how when you look at Blue Letter Bible, you look at your Strong's Concordance and you see these vas and these v's, and these were characters that didn't exist at this time. It's something that they are admitting which was put in. So it's not original. It's not authentic. So they essentially changed certain characters or sounds of characters to better fit their modern speech or their speech at that time. And it basically just gives you a basic understanding of how to enunciate or pronunciate these words. And then you have some 1 second, Israel. It's like Israel. So then you move into the vowel point. So this is one of those things that I was talking about before that I'm not gonna really go into teaching too much because it'll be kind of teaching you guys how to pronunciate it, how they pronunciate. This is something that if you want to know it just for your own edification, that's fine. But those little dots and dashes and little stuff that be under those words, those give you a better way of how to pronunciate that particular word in the way that they got it. So for instance, as more than one vowel may have the same sound, i.e. Shrek and qubits are both heard as you as in flute, heard as you as in flute. Cormets or quamets or quamet hatufs are represented by the same symbol but are pronounced differently. Their distinguishing characteristics are discussed in lesson 6. So like you'll have little dots on the side of something. See, like this arrow is pointing on this dot right next to the tail end of that la. And then you have the dash with the dot under the I and the dots and the dash. It's all how you pronunciate that particular character. So it might be a short, long, aggressive, however they detailed it out. That's just how they do it. So that's something that I don't feel like is needed to be taught in this particular class for the most part. But if it's something that you want to learn, more power to you. So this next part that we're getting into, the first sentence, as you see, is clearly important and something that we really have to digest. Now, according to this Yale approved document course, Hebrew course, the Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world still in use today. Let that sink in, because you have a lot of people who always try to say, discredit the alphabet or the Hebrew or the Lashawan Qadash, but scholars know about this Hebrew and the importance of it. The text of the Hebrew we use today reflects several periods of development. I missed this in. So the Hebrew alphabet is the oldest in the world, still in use today. Our own alphabet is a descendant of it by a circuitous route. The text of the Hebrew Bible we use today reflects several periods of development. Originally, only the consonants were used. By the time of the Israelite kingdoms, some consonants, the ya, the wa, the ha, were used to indicate vowels. So we see that at certain point in time, they decided to change. They decided to add to the language. They're already admitted that there were no vowels. It was only consonants used. So this goes to give more edification to above when it was just saying, let's go right back up to it. It's not far. That the ah and the I were throat sounds which have been modified in the modern pronunciation system. So we've seen that originally the pronunciation of the language was more organic, was more natural, was more I guess you can just say basic. And I'm not trying to say basic in the sense of not advanced or not good, but as in it didn't have much to go into understanding how they pronounce it. Like I said, you might drink something refreshing or feel a breeze and you go, you're not saying a word, you're making more of a vocalization or a sound. And that's how these earlier characters were derived of. And that's what they were saying above. So with no vowels were something that came later, that they added later. They started making the I's a E and the Y a V, and just started changing things to to fit the more modern speech patterns of that time or of that people. So it goes on to say that these letters continue to be used as consonants as well. Much later in the Middle Ages, a system of dots and dashes was devised to indicate every vowel. This was done by scholars we call Masoretes. So we understand that's something that we'll probably go into. I'll go into those just so I can have a better understanding of this time period, and I'll bring that out next week. But this is what we were covering before, that these series of dots and dashes go for the pronunciation of these various words and help that change and to understand it. Oh, when it has two dots, you say it like this, or it has a line, you say it like this. All right, so it goes on to say that the spellings with the vowel letters are considered to be longer than those without the vowel letters. Spelling rules during the period in which the texts were written varied a good deal, and the variages were usually preserved by the Masoretes. That is why you may see the same word spelled different ways in the text. For example, you have Yashab and Yawashab to distinguish the forms. We have two terms, the defecta and the plana, which means, or the full spelling. Sometimes then use several vowels to represent different spellings of one word, and it may also represent slightly different vowel quality in the variations and districts. So pretty much this is just how they decided to use and update it for that time. And I believe when it says for their system, for the various districts, that means, so you might have a people in a different district that would pronunciate it a different way, but if they use these different dots and dashes, they have it the same way, So this just goes into the further bastardization of our language, but this is just how they understood it. So each consonant in Hebrew, except the last, must have a vowel point with it. The proper way to sound out a word is to sound the first consonant, then the vowel with it, then the next consonant and the vowel combination, and so on. So the last consonant most often has no vowel sound and rounds off, closes the syllable. So you have the word Alahayim, Alahayim. So in this system, they're saying with these dots and dashes, you pronounce the vowel and there's no sound for the ah. So it's almost like how they try to say Jehovah. I mean, at some point they just started adding whole new characters, and they had to kind of find out a way to sound it out with the Hebrew characters that were ancient. You know what I mean? So they just mished it together. I don't want to say it like that. They polluted it. That's a better way to say it. So again, it further goes into how they understood pronunciation. And to be honest, it's not necessarily that it's always wrong, because some of the information on how they pronounce it, they got it from the people in that region and how those people were pronunciating certain words, but it's not that they're all right as well. So you still have to take it as a grain of salt, but it's always easier to go with the ancient because it's simple and plain. It's no vowels. You got your ah, your ba, your ga, your da, just straight down the list. There was no change, or we didn't change it. We just kept it the same. That'd be a better way to put it. So more on the vocalization, where no vowel sound was heard, the shua, which is this right here, was used. Either it has no sound, silent shua, or very slight sound, vocal shua, to link the consonants together. So you hear them sometimes where, you know, it sound like they barely said something. So like when you get to the ha, the CHAA, like we're not saying cha, we're not technically saying ka, we're saying ha. So it's on that vocalization or that level that we have to understand certain characters were pronounced. And this is just their way of categorizing it, you know, and then bastardizing it in other areas. So this kind of just deals with those vocalizations for those particular characters. So this is kind of like their first practice assignment, if you want to look at it like that. The first practice assignment, which I'm not going to require you guys to do. But in doing them, it would help you at least understand or possibly transition out of pronunciating the Hebrew in a Western European ideology. Because I mean, we grew up understanding the alphabet and pronunciating things in English in the English way. So when we see a different language described or depicted in English characters, we have the habit of trying to put that English on something that's not English. So we just got to be mindful of that. So we get into our first lesson. This is something I'm going to have on the screen for a minute. Because I kind of want you guys to be able to write this down. And next week when we come back, this is pretty much where we're going to come and start off with as far as beginning to work through the text is Genesis 3 and 13. Waya Amar Yahweh, referring to the alphabet and the vowel listings. Pronounce these two words, reading from right to left. Consonant, vowel, consonant, etc. Most Hebrew words have the stress on the final syllable. So it's almost like you'd be practicing. Well, when they say stress on that final syllable, it's almost like Waya Amar. So it's just sometimes you putting that more emphasis on that last syllable, which is the mar. Not necessarily ra, because the ma and the ra are connected. When a word is in a lesson sentence, has the accent elsewhere in Waya Amar, an accent mark will be used. So this further shows just how they document the accentuation of certain words. Let me just scroll ahead a little bit. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, just take a look at this. Because this is live and it's recorded, you guys also can always screenshot it and pause it. So I don't have to leave it on the screen for a lot of time. But next week, this is what we're going to be pretty much picking up and starting to work through. And then start the second lesson. All right. So one of the things that I said in the beginning of class is that we were going to show you that vocalization in real time. So let me go back. Stop sharing. And then I want to reshare.
Gives us the power in the name of Yahweh. Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah,
Yeah, she went to our doing too. Especially with that baby
Translation for the power. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh, please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Barak Lanawa, Yasha Allah, Mahabayah, Saparia, Barak, Yanya, Al, Haharia, Ma'ayad, Yaba'ah, Isaiah, Ma'ai, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaiah, Ma'aratazah, Al, Yathan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al, Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashad, Shawama, Yasha Allah, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al, Yad, Yamyanka, Yawamam, Hashemah, Ha'a, Yakaka, Hayarah, Balayallah, Yahweh,
and the young men is out there. Look at Mashai, Yasma'ai, Hadah, Kapan, Rabba, all these mighty men.
Psalms 121, English translation. I will lift up my eyes unto the hill. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee
will not slumber. Will not slumber. Behold, behold, he that keepeth Yashar'Allah, he that keepeth Yashar'Allah, shall neither slumber nor sleep. Shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade. The Lord is thy shade. Upon thy right hand. Upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. From all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. And thy coming in. From this time forth, and even forevermore. And even forevermore.
All right, just a little slight technical difficulties. I figured it out, which means I just clicked a lot of buttons until I got out of there. I clicked a lot of buttons and aborted. Get out, abort. All right, so pretty much that's going to be the first lesson. One of the things, the biggest thing that we covered is that vocalization of, or the pronunciation of the Hebrew language. What you just heard was prayer from the Passover, but you noticed that there was a common theme. That common theme was how we pronounced our alphabet from the ah, the ba, the ga, the da, the ha, the wa, the za. That did not change. So when we say Abanawa, we didn't add an I or we didn't add a U to make it sound differently. Abanawa, our Father, is just going to be Abanawa. Sha, ba, sha, ma, yum. It's all the same pronunciation or vocalization of exhaling for the most part. Sha, ba, wa. It's all breathing for the most part. So that aspect of our language is so heavy to understand for the pronunciation of it, because when you have fake Jews or the small hat people or our oppressors, the first thing that they try to always say is that we're wrong. We didn't do this, when they clearly admitted that this language is ancient. One of the oldest still used on earth today. They clearly admitted that our current language in some ways derived from this Hebrew. They admitted that there was no vowels and that the early pronunciation of this language was the vocalization that was similar to breathing. Yet they come and they want to say that, no, you don't know Hebrew. You're not these people. When they clearly are not. Clearly are not. So we have to do a little bit better standing on our own and not just leaning on or tucking tailing as soon as they make a claim. Some things we have to make sure that they present. Make sure that they prove. It's not up to us to prove to them what they stole from us. It's not up to us to prove to them who we are. It's not up to us. If you're the people, you prove it, because the Bible says otherwise. Your culture says otherwise. And what I was going to do is just go through collecting just you can get a different feel. Matter of fact, let me find it. I'm gonna take the time and find it real quick. And we gonna see the difference. I'm trying to find a good one. Bear with me. All right, so we're just gonna rock.
Mal von der Qadash, neu was sei sei felle. Du tist ich bin gut über mein, was noch jetzt um hat von sich alto. Ne alto beasto. Kai ferez de mai madrim. Mich mal vorbei de madrinoi. Mich mal von der Qadash, neu was sei sei felle. Du tist ich bin gut über mein, was noch jetzt um hat von sich alto.
All right. That was rough. I felt like I was coming down with something. It was getting to me. Felt like they was trying to cast some bull. But all right, so like I said, this class was for that purpose. Again, hit me up. Definitely let me know if you want to go through that workbook with me. But this is going to be the gist of the class moving forward for this next section of quarter. I'll probably have some small activities or small lessons to work through next week. I'm going to try to get 2 chapters ahead so I can work out any kinks I need to work out. And definitely I'm going to make sure I have somebody here in position to get this class and keep this class popping, because at this point, you know, now it's not the time to take our foot out the gas, take the foot off the gas, Israel. Now it's not the time. We got to put more pressure on that gas, take our foot completely off the brake, and go all the way in on this work. All right, with that being said, time for me to go ahead and get to this slave. Men of Israel, I Madium Shabbat, I Madium Barak, Yahbashim Yahweh Baraka Thumb, Yajamata, dismissed.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isupk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're